What's happening, guys? Zed from TechSource, and welcome to my review of the 2018 OMEN by HP. This is a mid-tier gaming laptop with a 6-core 8th gen processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and the NVIDIA GTX 1060 6GB graphics card. Not only are we going to be looking at the gaming side, but we're also going to be looking at the productivity side, because if you're going to buy a 6-core laptop with 16 gigs of RAM, then you're probably going to use it for more than just gaming. You only really need a quad-core and 8 gigs of RAM for gaming. And that's because games are more dependent on the GPU, so a faster GPU will get you better performance. So the OMEN starts at $800 for the i5 and GTX 1050 Ti. However, the 6-core version we're checking out in this video is going for around $1,000, and it also comes with a 128GB M.2 SSD and a 1TB SSD. It's also very easy to upgrade. Just remove the screws holding the back panel and you get access to both the drives, the RAM, and the Wi-Fi card. Also down here is the 70 watt-hour battery, which will get you around 2 hours and 40 minutes with 20% battery left. So expect around 3 hours of battery life on this. By the way, guys, the battery tests done on my laptop videos are done through the PCMark Workstation Benchmark. That way it's consistent throughout every single laptop video you guys watch. The build quality is really good. It has the OMEN trademark, so mostly black with red accents, and I really like the carbon fiber material on the top as well. The keyboard deck is made out of aluminum, but the back plate and top plate are both made out of plastic, so there is a good amount of flex on the display, which is to be expected, nothing to worry about. I also like the hinge design. I feel like it's built really well, and it opens up easily with one hand, which is always a plus for me. I also didn't notice any bowing across the keyboard, probably because of the aluminum backing. Overall, I'm very happy with the construction of the OMEN. So the monitor is a 15.6-inch Full HD IPS display. We got 60Hz refresh rate, and it has this anti-glare coating. The viewing angles are not too bad, even with the anti-glare coating. However, you can expect some color shifting here and there. Now, if you guys are looking for a 4K display instead, then the OMEN laptop does have a 4K option available, but the laptop comes with a 1050 Ti instead. Now, the reason why the laptop comes with a 1050 Ti is because the laptop is meant to be used mostly for productivity. You get a 6-core processor, up to 32 gigs of RAM, and more storage options. So anybody who's going to be picking up a 4K display option is obviously going to be using it for CPU-intensive tasks and also programs that eat up a lot more RAM. The 1050 Ti is a nice plus if you want to game in 1080p, but the main reason for the 4K display is for productivity. So the screen doesn't get that bright. At 230 nits, it's good enough for indoor use, and it's accurate enough to do color-sensitive work. One of the more welcoming changes coming from the previous models are the bezels. It does have a chin, but the sides and the top are very thin, which is great since they are able to utilize all that space for screen real estate instead. They were even able to squeeze in the front-facing camera up on the top. The keyboard is really nice. The keys are RGB backlit and spaced nicely. I haven't run into any issues typing or trying to reach certain keys. I feel like the shift key and the backspace are easy to reach, but the arrow keys took some getting used to. The lighting is controlled through their software. However, you're only able to change the colors of each zone rather than each individual key, but they do get really bright if you crank up the settings. The trackpad isn't using Windows Precision drivers, which is what I prefer in laptops, but it's not bad. It tracks very well for the most part. However, once in a while, it won't recognize some of the gestures I make. It's not a big deal. For connectivity, I love what HP did here. So check this out, guys. They put the most used ports on the sides. So on the left, you get an SD card reader, USB 3 with the headphone jack, and another USB 3 on the other side. But they moved the rest of the ports in the back. You get HDMI, mini display, Thunderbolt, and even an Ethernet port back here. This is a really nice design choice by HP because this way you don't end up with a bunch of cables coming out from the sides of your laptop. Awesome. So the 1060 does great in games, obviously. You can expect to game comfortably over 60 FPS across most AAA titles in high settings. Some newer games like Shadow of the Tomb Raider are more demanding, so if you want to play over 60 FPS, you will have to lower the settings a bit. The OMEN also does great in productivity. The 8750H is enough to power those CPU-hungry applications. Editing is a great example. I was able to cut 4K footage easily and I didn't experience any issues. You can expect some stuttering and lagging while scrubbing through the timeline on 4K files. However, for 1080p, it's actually buttery smooth. 4K playback was also fairly smooth. However, I had to lower the quality to 75%, but overall experience was very pleasant editing on the OMEN. Now here's where things get heated, literally. So when it comes to thermals, I wasn't that impressed. The CPU and GPU get pretty toasty after gaming on the laptop for over an hour, with the CPU temps hitting around 90 degrees Celsius. The temps got so hot that I even experienced some throttling playing Black Ops 4. If you guys take a look at the graph here, you can see where the GPU dips in clock speed. Every time it dips, I experienced a split-second stutter in game. For some reason, Black Ops 4 was the only game that made the OMEN throttle. Other games like Overwatch, CSGO, Fortnite, and even PUBG were smooth. No stuttering or lagging playing those games. This leads me to believe that the game is not yet optimized considering it was just launched, so I'm confident that an update can fix this later on. Which leads me to the fan noise. Even on idle, you can hear them, and if you're in a quiet place like a library, then it can get pretty annoying really fast. Unfortunately, there is no way to control the fan speed manually, otherwise this would have been an easy fix. Now, once you start using a laptop for gaming or editing, the fans will kick up and you're gonna wanna put on some headphones because they get pretty loud, especially once you put it on performance mode. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend taking this to quiet places like libraries or church on Sundays. Anywhere else, you'll be fine. Finally, I wanna talk about the Mindframe headset and the Reactor mouse. First up is the headset, and guys, this is one of the coolest headsets I have used, quite literally. So this headset features frost cap, and it basically uses a thermoelectric device inside each ear cup to cool the speaker grill plates to transfer the heat away from your ears. Honestly guys, I thought it was a gimmick at first, but man, it works like a charm and it actually feels really nice. It's like having your own personal air conditioning for your ears. It is trippy. The headset itself is very comfortable to wear with a synthetic leather padding for the headband, which automatically adjusts for your head, and they come with these breathable mesh ear cups which fit nicely around my ears. It has 7.1 virtual surround sound with a built-in microphone, and you can control the volume using a knob on the ear cups. The RGB lighting on the ear cups can be customized using the OMEN command center, and through here you can also even control the ice cap cooling technology. But yeah guys, if you're looking for a solid built, great sounding headset for those super long sessions of gaming, then you gotta check out the Mindframe headset. The frost cap feature on this thing is insane. Finally, we have the Reactor mouse. So a lot of people have been talking about this mouse on the forums, and I realized why quickly. It's a really great mouse for fast-paced games. It's really light and compact with rubber grips on both sides, making it really easy to lift and slide around. It's a 16,000 dpi mouse with RGB lighting and a metal cable, which keeps the wire on the table and prevents it from kinks. I really like the thumb rest on the side. It keeps my thumb from rubbing across the mouse pad every time I have to drag the mouse around. And another really cool feature is the adjustable palm rest. There's a lever on the side that lets you adjust the height, and it's actually the first time I've seen this on a gaming mouse. I think that HP did a great job on this laptop. They've definitely improved on their OMEN lineup over the past few years. I think this is the best OMEN laptop to date. The fan noise on this shouldn't be a big issue to most people because I'm sure you guys would be carrying around your headset or your earphones every time. Nobody really uses the speakers on laptop, especially in public places. So if you guys can look past that and the minor hiccup with throttling on Black Ops 4, then I think that this is definitely a solid buy for anyone looking for a laptop for gaming and productivity. And that does it for my review of the OMEN gaming laptop. I'll drop a link below if you guys want to check this out, along with the headset and the Reactor mouse, which is actually my favorite mouse right now. If you guys enjoyed the video and want to see more types of these laptop reviews, drop a like and make sure to dislike if you didn't enjoy the video. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.